Hello guys, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, my name is Haoma_KE, and please do not forget to like, comment where you're watching this video from, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button. So for the past 1 week, we've been receiving rain, not so much, but it's good for the start of our second season because majority of the farmers have planted, some have planted beans and some have planted maize. So for me, I'm going to check on our groundnuts, our second part of the groundnuts that we planted in the other section, and see if they are fully matured, because if I leave them in the farm and they are mature, they'll start germinating, and after harvesting 2 or 3, I've realized they are fully mature, so it's time for them to get out of the farm. But I'm not going to do that today. That's I've spared that for another day, because today we'll be harvesting a maize that we planted on the other side of the farm. So we have two sections of the farm that we have maize. We have this section, and also we have this other section that I'm going to harvest today. So for me, I always care one section of the farm. That maize I always use for boiling. That is the maize that I give my friends, my family members when it is mature, like green, like fresh maize. So I always do not harvest the other side, the bigger side of the farm maize, for boiling, and if I want to use it for cooking, githeri, or give it out to my friends. So this part, we've eaten fresh maize for the longest, and we always know that fresh maize has the shortest time possible. So I think when you start just harvesting the fresh maize, you give it like 1 week and then it dries up. So today I'm just going to try as much as possible to harvest this part of the farm, but the rest of the farm I'm going to get people who are going to help me harvest them, because that's a lot of maize. This time round we planted more maize this time, because I really want to not plant maize in my second season, or the bigger part of the farm. So in my second season, I would wish to plant more vegetables for the second season, because here in the village, from November, December, January and February, we do not have vegetables at all. So I really want to take advantage of that and see if I can plant a lot of vegetables. And here in Kenya, we consume maize in so many things. And because ugali is our staple food, ugali is just meal from maize. So we grind maize to get flour or flour. So maize is one of our staple foods. We use maize in so many things. We roast maize throughout the year. You'll get maize in the market. People are roasting, and then we eat maize, fresh maize, with so many types of food, and also ugali. Very common. It is a common delicacy here in Kenya because you can alternate ugali with any stew that you want. And for us here in our home, because I'm still enjoying my last year harvest of dry maize, so for these ones I'm just going to harvest, then dry them well, so that when the next group of maize that we are going to harvest, when it comes, I do not mix with this one. So when I start milling, taking to the posho mill, I will start with this one, and then the rest that are in the farm, those are the ones that we always seal and start eating them either next year from January or from end of November and December. And the reason why I always start with this side, because this is the first side of the farm that I always start planting maize, so they always mature faster. And I also want to plant the yellow maize early. So if you want to plant yellow maize and does not affect the other maize that you're going to plant later, you plant your yellow maize like a week early or 2 weeks earlier than the rest, because they mature very fast. So I also want to plant some yellow maize at the edges of this side of the farm, and also the other side of the farm will plant maize at the edges. So it's better to harvest early, then the land is prepared early, so that I give it like 1 week, then we can now start planting. Life in the village is always so easy and simple. We just consume what we have around. We do not take things so seriously. So, and most of the time you'll find kids in the farm helping their parents, and it is just normal. We do not take it as a hard labor. So especially my kids enjoy coming to the farm because I rarely take them to the farm. So anytime they see me in the farm when they are at home, they just have to join me. And I feel like it's something that is always good to teach your kids early, not as punishment, but just as they do it from their heart, and they will always enjoy it. Like my kids enjoying being in the farm or doing any chores with me, they just enjoy doing it. For lunch, I like preparing something simple, something easy, especially if you are from the farm and everyone is tired. So for lunch, we are just having beef with spaghetti. And I think I've done so many videos making spaghetti. Spaghetti is just easy: boil water, cooking oil and salt. And then after the water has boiled, dip in your spaghetti. And then I always wash mine with cold water. I drain my spaghetti with cold water so that it removes this a lot of starch in it. So you'll never see my spaghetti sticking together. And also, we always have a habit here of making soups because one, me and my son have an issue with arthritis. Especially me, I've had it since I was small, and I've seen like my son has it also. So I always encourage very good eating habits, especially foods that have a lot of calcium. So because as the kids will be taking their lunch, I'll take mine very quickly and then start preparing our bone soup. So when we were small, this is something that my mom used to do. So my mom used to buy a whole leg of a cow, and then she will prep it and then boil the bones, and then we'll take it with herbs. So that is something my mom used to do it weekly. On a weekly basis, she always had to boil the cow leg, sometimes the head, but the leg is something that it was very common. But for me, I just go to the butchery and then buy the bones, especially bones that have bone marrows, and then I boil. So the easiest way to do it is, this is something that I've learned recently. Put your bones in a tray, and then put it in the oven. The purpose of doing that is to remove any bacteria if there is, and then it always gives your soup that smoky taste in it. So that's the reason why. And because the meat, the bones that I was given had some meat, I just want to remove meat because I do not need that in my soup. All I want is a bone soup, completely a bone soup. So I'm going to remove all the meat and then put it in the oven for like 15 minutes because I've already preheated the oven. So I'm going to give it like 15 minutes, 10 minutes flip, and then 10 minutes, and that will be fine. So I'm going to put my bones at the upper level, and also the oven I've set it only the heat to be at the upper level, and then flip it after 10 minutes. So as our bone is roasting, let me harvest some herbs. So I prefer putting a few of the things from the farm. The celery is very important in your soup making. That's according to me because it has a lot of health benefits. So I'm going to put celery, I'm going to put some ginger from the farm, I'm going to put some thyme, and also some onions, and that is it. I do not put a lot of spices, especially the ground spices. I prefer just fresh spices from the farm. So ginger is one of the crops that the moment you plant it, it will always be in your farm. So like the ginger, this ginger are still growing. So I rarely disturb them until they are fully mature. But I have different spots in the farm that ginger just grew because I had grown ginger there the other time. So but they are really deep because we added a lot of soil in our raised bed when we made the raised beds. But we still get ginger everywhere in the farm, and that is something that is very beautiful. I've never bought ginger for the last like 1 year. I've never bought ginger. Too deep. So I'm also going to mix a sweet basil and Thai basil. Basil goes well with soups and with fish. So that is something that I love in my soups. So that's also the only spice that I'm going to add. This is the Thai basil, and the other one was the sweet basil. And I just love how my herbs look like, especially the basil. They grow really fast. It is something that you can grow in your garden really fast, and it does really well.
Hapa sasa imefungwa na hizi flower zote ingia, zinakwambia utakana uchukue flower moja. Sasa shika flower moja na mama natupiga pia. Aida.
So in soup making, all this is optional. You can decide just to have plain soup with salt and maybe pepper, but sometimes you just have, because like if you're making collagen, I would prefer if you put it with some little bit of fresh harvested spices, just to give it some good taste and nice taste in them.
Then Mayan tena. Esi nawe. Mama. Esi wafula.
So 10 minutes is up, so it's time to flip or to turn the bones, and then give it another 10 minutes, and then after that now they'll be ready to be boiled. So you can decide to cut them, the spices, or you can decide to just put them whole in your sufuria. So my pot broke, and pots are the best in boiling soups, but because it broke down and I haven't bought another one, so we are going to use just our sufuria and then put it in the jiko. And I prefer boiling my soup the whole night for it to have that rich taste in it. Some pepper won't hurt because I'm not cutting the pepper. I'll just put it whole inside the soup. So 20 minutes is up and our bones are now roasted just enough, not burnt, just roasted enough. And then it's time now to add the bones into the sufuria, then put some water, some salt, then boil them. That's where it is. So I'm going to let it boil for so many hours because right now it's around 5. I think 5:10, 5:15. So I'm going to let it boil. If I think for the next 5 hours it will be ready, but it's good to use it the next day, and that's what I always do. I always, after I've boiled it, I let it cool off so that all the fat comes on top, and it is, you can just pick it, and then now you're left with your soup. So this is the next morning. I kept on removing the fat on top so that I just get or remain with my soup only. So these are the remaining ones that I'm going to remove. I rarely take my soup with all this fat because I do not need it. All I need is the nutrients in the bone marrow. And I think it has really helped me a lot, especially me, because of my issue with arthritis. Sometimes it becomes very painful, and we know arthritis do not have a cure. You just may have to learn how to maintain it, and eating healthy, maintaining your weight, and that is it. So I'm going to let it boil so that I can take some hot soup in the morning. And I prefer taking my soup early in the morning before I take breakfast. That's the best way to do it. Our soup is ready, and thank you so much for watching. If you have watched this video till the end, thank you so much. You're super amazing. Thank you for always supporting my channel. Thank you for all those who always come back to watch my videos. I really appreciate you so much. So if you haven't liked this video yet and you're watching until now, please like the video and also comment your best part of the video. So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. For now, it's bye bye.